How's it going, Vault Hunters? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys are all having a good day. So after reading through all the comments on my Fallout New Vegas videos and my Borderlands 2 videos, it's come to my attention that a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do some Far Cry 3 stuff, and so I figured, you know what, I might as well go ahead and do it. But instead of doing the usual 20-minute, 30-minute gameplay videos like I always do, I decided to kind of switch it up a bit and make some videos that are going to be somewhat informative for you guys and help you guys out as you play through the game. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to start doing some gun reviews for the game. Each video is going to cover a different gun. So this is going to be the first video in the series, and the first gun we are going to review is the Recurve Bow. So the Recurve Bow is a medium to long range weapon in Far Cry 3, and it's capable of taking out animals as well as people, and also has limited anti-vehicle types. Of course, this weapon's biggest advantage is that it is silent, so if you're looking to go the stealthy route, this is a great weapon for you. You're capable of taking out enemies without making any noise. Those of you looking to acquire this weapon must still be pretty early into the game. The weapon's actually very easy to acquire. All you have to do is activate 3 radio towers and it'll be available to you for free. Another significant advantage with the Recurve Bow is that you actually have the ability to retrieve your arrows after you shoot them. It's the only weapon in the game where you can kill the enemy and then take your ammo back, so basically that means that the ammo is infinite. Ammo capacity is relatively low to start off. You're only able to carry 5 arrows at a time when you first get the bow, but through upgrades, through hunting for the correct materials, you can actually upgrade the amount of arrows you can carry. There are 3 different types of arrows that you can fire throughout the game. They do take a while to be able to use the other 2, but you would have your standard arrows that you can shoot. Later on in the game, you unlock the abilities to craft fire and explosive arrows. Fire obviously set the enemy on fire or surrounding area on fire. Explosives would unleash an explosion upon impact, so they don't. You don't necessarily have to hit the target. As long as you're relatively close to them, you'll do some damage. And in order to be able to craft explosive arrows, you must have access to grenades, and to create flaming arrows, you have to have access to Molotov cocktails. So that's why you have to wait till later on in the game to be able to use them, because you have to wait till you have full access to those weapons. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the attachments available for this weapon. There are 2 attachments for this weapon, both of which can be purchased for $300 each. The first one we're going to look at is the red dot sight. It just replaces the 2-pronged sight there where you have to kind of aim in between the 2 prongs to a red dot. This basically allows you to use the bow for a more up close and personal method of fighting, and also incorporating stealth. The other sight available on this bow is the marksman sight. What this has is distance markers for 50, 80, and 100 meters. As you start getting farther away from the enemies, the arrows do drop a little bit, so this kind of gives you, you have to kind of estimate how far the enemy is away, and then you can kind of adjust where you want to aim your shot. So this kind of allows you to be more accurate from a longer distance, and also again being stealthy. Alright guys, that pretty much covers my review of the Recurve Bow, but before we go, I just want to quickly go over the positives and negatives again with you. So for the positives, it is a quiet weapon if you're a stealthy type player. It is the perfect weapon for you. It doesn't make any noise when you shoot. Obviously being able to retrieve your arrows is huge. It means you really don't have to buy arrows that much, provided you're pretty good at scouting out where they land. The arrow does do very high damage if you manage to hit the enemy. Usually you can one-shot most enemies and most of the weaker animals, and really it's the only weapon in the game that requires any sort of skill to use. The other ones you kind of just point and shoot, whereas the arrow actually has bullet drop, so you have to kind of account for that as well. Now as for the negatives, obviously there is a very low ammo count at first. You're only able to get 5 arrows. With upgrades in time you can get to 30, but when you're just starting out, it's kind of hard to make constant use of the weapon. It can be tough to aim at a moving target if you're pretty good at aiming. If you play a lot of games that have bullet drop and you have to hit moving targets, you're probably okay. If the enemy is close to you or is charging you, it's not ideal, especially if they're charging you. And that's kind of what the last point is too. The reload time is long, so if he's charging at you and you shoot him but you miss him, or you don't have enough power behind your shot, you got a couple, like probably 5 seconds or so in between reloads, and the enemy could just start wailing on you. So now it's to the point where I am basically going to let you guys know whether or not I recommend this weapon. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a challenge. Again, like I said, it is the only weapon in the game that requires some skill to use. Also, if you're one of those guys who likes to be stealthy and remain undetected, this is definitely the perfect weapon for you in that case. Me personally, I like to just run and shoot. I like to use guns with attachments and stuff like that. So the recurve bow really isn't for me. But if you're into that kind of stuff and you really want a challenge, I definitely recommend this weapon for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I'm going to be doing more reviews every couple days for the different weapons. If you have any requests, leave them below in the comments. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to get in on the action. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.